This is Tony Hendrick with Painting Spirit, and today I'm going to talk about steps. And the reason I'm choosing this is because I need a little bit of a pep talk for myself. I planned on getting something accomplished this week that I don't think is going to happen. I mentioned it last week. It's something I want to share with everyone who's watching these. So look for it next week. But I had to remind myself it's all about steps. And what did that mean to me? So I do these little drawings before I start the videos, just to give a little visual introduction. And I thought to myself, well, I really don't like the visual of steps, and I don't really know why. I like them like on a nature trail, like steps made out of roots. That's kind of cool, and I've gone on nature hikes that pictured rocks, and there's a lot of those kinds of parts of the trails where you're climbing up the roots of trees on the trail. Those kind of steps I really like. But I thought of this M.C. Escher, who's an artist my high school art teacher must have really liked. I'm not sure about that, but she gave us an assignment. It was kind of my introduction to this drawing on the right side of the brain, where the lady who wrote the book had all these techniques that get you to apparently use your right side of the brain. And one of those is to take a photo of something you want to draw and turn it upside down, and it gets you out of your left brain that wants to label things and stuff like that. So you're just basically paying attention to the lights and shadows that make the image. You don't even know what you're drawing. You're just looking at the lights and shadow. And anyway, so the artist drawing she used for that assignment was M.C. Escher. And it was his drawing of him looking into a mirror ball. And the reason I thought of him is he's got these other drawings that have stairs that are winding and kind of creating this optical illusion of stairs that really can't physically exist, kind of like the opening drawing I had. And anyway, so thinking about stairs and going places and getting somewhere, and realizing that the steps, well, let me back up. I have found for myself some point in my life where I just started to realize that I'm not getting anywhere. Not getting anywhere that I'm not already there. And basically the only place I'm looking to get is to be in that state of enjoying the present moment. And that's the step that I'm on right now. I can choose to enjoy it or not. Be disappointed if I haven't already arrived. So, like I said, I chose this topic just to kind of give myself a little bit of a pep talk, I guess, and see what comes out of it. And I guess I just thought of that nature trail, and I'm thinking of it now that whenever I go out on a nature hike, nature trail, I'm probably not looking to get anywhere because usually the trail goes around in a circle. It brings me right back to where I'm starting. So let's get some color going on here with this painting. I'm not quite sure. I was actually going to do a landscape, but I just realized I wasn't able to pull up the image that I wanted. So I'm doing an abstract today. Let's see where that leads. Kind of liking this color, this green with this orange happening there. Anyway, so the whole point of going on the nature trail is the experience along the way, right? It's not where you're getting, where you're going. Let's see here, maybe a little blue would be kind of cool there. I just dipped my brush into that thick medium again. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, I'm using acrylics to do these paintings, and the medium is just a clear part of or a clear substance of painting without the pigment, basically. It's kind of neat and helps to move the paint. Really, that's a huge part of my paintings are the mediums that I use. Explored all kinds of different mediums when I painted in oils for years and years and years. The medium that I used was this alkyd medium called Smith's Cream. And about the time that I decided to switch to acrylics, so when I was working in a friend's studio, and he was complaining about how terrible this alkyd medium smelled. And I just was so in love with it. I'm probably addicted to the smell. And I was a bit offended, actually, because it's such a big part of the way that I painted, and I didn't see any other way that I could do my paintings without using that medium. But you know what? Part of enjoying the present moment is to be healthy. So there was other factors that made me decide to switch to acrylics. Found I do a lot of mural work, public outdoor murals that have to contend with the weather, and I've found over the years that acrylic paints are actually much more stable out in the elements. And so that was kind of the main reason I switched. But what I've loved along the way is finding out how fun it is to clean acrylics compared to oils. And anyway, I discovered these acrylics by Golden. They're called Golden Open Acrylics. And I've explored them enough where I've got them to behave quite a bit like my oil paints. And a big part of that is the mediums. Not really using the medium right now. Kind of just playing around, seeing what happens. Just playing around with the shapes, I guess. Maybe let's add some different something or other in there. this layering can create some nice effects underneath. I've talked about doing these abstract paintings and how I would do the nature paintings, and each of them have their own challenge. For me, with the abstract paintings, it really relies on trust that something's going to show up, because I'm not really using anything to paint from other than just what's happening on the canvas. So there's a bit of trust involved in that. And if you really want to have something that you know where you're headed, abstract painting might be a little bit of a difficult thing for you. But then with working from life, drawing something from something you're looking at, or maybe even creating something out of your mind that you want to have be a representation of something. You have an idea in mind. That's kind of a neat color there. It's creating a different, I like that. I'm going to bring in and play with that muddiness. Bring in some darks there. Not too much. Just playing with color. Well, with working from something that you're trying to represent, there's that aspect of the challenge of, well, it's got to look like what I'm painting, right? And then giving it life at the same time. So it doesn't matter necessarily what your approach is. It's always going to be some challenge. Bringing back the subject to steps, it's all about where you're at in the moment, being present to it. It's really where all steps are leading, is that present moment. And that's kind of cool. I really like that red there. See what happens there. Let's bring in some different kinds of things happening there. Maybe something walking down some steps, coming forward toward the outside of the painting. There's some purple that just happened there. I like that. That purple added a new dimension to the painting. So that was just a little talk on steps. I'm going to just enjoy the steps along the way. Have fun on my project that I've been working on, and I will share with you most certainly next week. It seems like I'm almost at that point where I can share it. So stay tuned next week, and this weekend, just enjoy the steps along the way. Realize that's the only place you're trying to get to, ultimately. It's the joy of the present moment. And get out your brushes. See what you can explore. And have a good weekend. And we'll see you on Monday.